Honey Bunsters and I are here to do our Q&A. From the other day, I asked everybody if they had any questions, and I got a couple, so gonna go ahead and answer those. So let's get into it. The first question is from Sherry Smiley. Hopefully it's Sherry Smiley and not Sharice Smiley. You let me know. So anyway, first question, I got all my questions here on my new laptop. And I'll put the questions here so you can read them yourself as well if you'd like. So her question was actually for Luis. It says, since he bought you the MacBook Air on eBay, can you please share tips on how to buy one from eBay? I don't have one either, like features to look for, etc., a good seller. And she said she'd love to get one someday, which I don't blame you because this thing is awesome. I freaking love it so much. So he said, sorry he didn't want to answer on camera, but he said basically one day he got an email from eBay like offering a coupon or something like that, and so he decided to just go look, and what he said he looked for was of course the seller's ratings, but then like what he did was he found this seller that had really good ratings and only had like a few bad ratings. So instead of going through and reading all the good ratings, of course he went and he read the bad ratings, and they weren't that bad. Like people were complaining about like the surface area like here or on the outside having like scratch marks, which it clearly stated in the descriptions like they're used computers, so they might have some scuff marks or whatever. But you know, as far as he was concerned, all he was worried about was that, you know, the screen looked good and there was nothing wrong with the screen, which there's nothing wrong with this one. And I don't know, basically he said you kind of just have to read the ratings and look around for the best price, and the best price with the best ratings. So and you kind of want someone like this person offered a 2-year warranty from their because theirs is kind of like an eBay store, so they offer a 2-year warranty with the product. So even though it's a used computer, I still have a warranty that goes with it for 2 years. So you want to look for somebody that offers a refund if you don't like it, if you're not happy with it, or a warranty in case something goes wrong with it, and that lets you know if there's any kind of damage to it, scuff marks, anything like that. So you just have to kind of do a little bit of research, and that's basically all he said. That's pretty much all he did. So that's my answer for him. Sorry. Maybe he could have answered it better, but he didn't want me to film him, so sorry about that. The next question is from Vegan Peace. It says, I would love to know more about raising kids and teaching them about veganism, etc. And I would love to hear what it's like living in Las Vegas. I know that it isn't really vegan related, but I'm fascinated by living a normal life in Vegas. I always just think of it as a place people go to gamble and make really bad choices, like marrying somebody while drunk. So that is true. But okay, let's start off with raising kids vegan. My kids are not vegan. I wish that they were, but I do the best that I can. I try to, like, I have them sit down sometimes and I have them watch the bite-size Emilie vegan videos for kids, and I have bought them some of the Ruby Roth like books about what it means to be vegan. I do need to get them some more of those because I don't have all of them yet. And then I just try to like take my little opportunities to tell them. You'll see in another video that my kid brought home a piece of bubble gum the other day, and he wanted to eat it, and he got it from his teacher, and I told him, okay, well, I want you to know that that has gelatin in it, which is made out of animal bones, and it's your choice if you want to eat it or not, but you know, animals were hurt to make that piece of bubble gum. And in that moment and that day, he didn't care. He really wanted that bubble gum, so he just said, okay, whatever, and he ate it. And it did kind of upset me, but I tried to just hold it in, let it go, like, you know, because I can't lecture my kids constantly about it, or they're definitely going to rebel and go the other way. I can't constantly be on them to do the right thing and make the right choice because they're still really young and they don't really quite understand what it means, you know. So I basically just take every little opportunity I can to try to educate them a little bit. And so what I do sometimes is, what I did with the bubblegum thing is I went on Amazon and I found a vegan bubblegum that's gumdrops. You'll see in another video if you watch my vlogs, that I like to keep things in our, we have like a candy drawer kind of. I like to keep things in there so that if somebody gives them something, I can kind of like trade them. Like, okay, so somebody gave this to you and you know that this is a cruelty filled product, so let's trade. Like, instead of having that, who knows, instead of having that Chips Ahoy, you can have this Oreo, or instead of having that piece of Bazooka bubblegum, you can have this Tree Hugger vegan bubblegum from Amazon, you know. Check it out. They're pretty good. So, not sponsored. So basically that's what I do. It's a struggle. It's a progress. It's something I work on every day. It's not going to happen overnight. Hopefully when my kids are old enough to really understand, they'll make the right choice, but I can't force that upon them. So all I can do is continue to try. So the second part about living in Las Vegas, when I first moved here, and for many years after I first moved here, I hated Las Vegas. Absolutely hated it with a passion. Could not wait to be old enough to move back to California, you know, to live with my best friend's family. And when you first move here, it's kind of like culture shock. Like, for me it was. I mean, I grew up on Air Force bases, so my dad wanted to retire here. And one of the first things you see when you move here is slot machines in a grocery store, and it's the weirdest thing ever. Like, you walk in and you're like, why are people gambling in the grocery store? Like, what is wrong with people here? Like, it's the weirdest, honestly. I mean, that was my first impression. I thought it was so weird, and you just get used to it over time, and now it's nothing, you know. It's like, whatever, that's just Las Vegas, you know. And it's still not my favorite place to live. Like, I would not choose to live here. Like, if it was easier to move away, but my parents live here, and I want my children to have a relationship with their grandparents, and it's super expensive to move, and I haven't had the opportunity to go and discover other places yet to decide if that's somewhere that I want to move in the future. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to go vacation in like Portland, Oregon, where I think I would like to live. So someday, hopefully, I'll be able to save up and be able to go vacation there and see if that's someplace we might want to move in the future. But right now, I want to be close to my parents for my kids. So who knows what the future will hold. But yeah, you just get used to it. I mean, I'm so used to like 115 degree weather pretty much that if it's under like 75 degrees, I'm freezing cold and I'm wearing a hoodie or, you know, a jacket, because you get used to the temperature where you live. And it kind of sucks. There's a lot of, I don't know, it depends on what you like. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the heat. Like, if it's hot outside, I'm not gonna go sit out in the 100 degree weather. I'm not going bike riding in 100 degree weather. Pretty much you're trapped indoors. If you live here, you're trapped indoors in the summer because it's too hot, and you're trapped indoors in the winter because it's way too cold, because you get so used to the heat that you're freezing if it's under 75 degrees. So it's kind of a indoor culture. Like, there's a lot of indoor play places here. There should be more. There could be more. Like, that'd be a really good business for people here. If I was more business minded, I would open up a giant warehouse indoor playground for people here, because it's really sorely needed. But the places that are here, people overcharge. Like, I know this is kind of going off topic, but I would charge like $5 per kid per day and have at it, you know, spend much time as you want there, because you would make so much money. But the people that do have places way overcharge, and then you can't even afford to go there very often. So their business has got to be lacking, because we can't afford to go there. You know, if it's $8 per hour per kid, I'm not going to be going there more than an hour every couple months. So, you know, anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, it's weird living here, but you kind of get used to it. It's just like anywhere else, I guess. You just have to adjust, and I guess if you don't like it, move. But it's a lot easier said than done. So anyway, my next question is from Sandra. Hey, Sandra, from Life on Plants. It says, my son Adrian wants to know where you got your name Team Broccoli from. I'm curious to hear how you were diagnosed with Crohn's and how often it affects you now since becoming vegan. Do you notice even more improvement when you have been more raw or eliminating processed foods? So I talked about this in like my second episode, but that was such a long time ago that I don't even blame you for not having ever seen it. But so basically, Team Broccoli is because I absolutely hated broccoli. It was my most hated vegetable when I was a kid. And since I decided to try to get my health back, and well, now that I'm older and my taste buds have obviously changed, I don't hate broccoli anymore. I love it. And so it went from a hate relationship to a love relationship. And it's like, you know, I was just being cheesy and saying, oh, now I'm Team Broccoli because I love broccoli now, and I plan to get healthy and eat more raw foods and eat more, you know, vegetables and things like that. So that's all. And also I love Twilight, so it was kind of like a play on Team Edward, Team Jacob, you know, Team Broccoli. So yeah, that's where that came from. And then about the Crohn's disease, normally it doesn't affect me that often. Like, as long as I'm eating a whole foods plant-based diet and I'm not eating too much processed junky crap, I do really well on a plant-based diet. Really, it's like, as long as if I'm eating good food and I'm taking my Miralax every day because I actually need that to, I need that for my stomach. I don't want to really get into that, explaining it, but I drink that every day. As long as I drink that twice a day and eat my healthy foods, I'm perfectly fine. It's just when I get into the really junky vegan cheeses and faux meats, and I'm eating like chips and crap every day, grilled cheese every day, and I just go kind of crazy on the junk food, that's when I have a flare up. And usually it only lasts like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, when before it used to last days. You know, like this one that I had this week lasted 5 days. And yeah, that gave me a big wake-up call to get back on track and to eat my whole foods and to stop eating out and you know, stop eating so much spicy, greasy, nasty food. So I don't want to have any more 5-day flare-ups when I know that for a fact when I'm doing well, I could have, if something happened, I could only have like a 2 or 3 hour flare-up. That's a huge difference, and I'd rather have the smaller one and you know, treat myself better. So I'm working on that. The next question is from Anna's Raw Vegan Journey. Hey Anna, it says, if you could move anywhere in the world, where would you move? Well, I'm really not sure. I do love Germany. I grew up there as a kid. We lived there for like 5 years. We lived on the Air Force Base Ramstein when I was a kid, and I think Germany is gorgeous, and I love all the castles there and the culture. I just think it's so much fun. Like, I don't know, it's such a fun culture, and at least that's what I remember from it. I really loved living there. So, I mean, there, maybe Germany or maybe Ireland. Ireland is so gorgeous too. And I just want to live somewhere that's beautiful, which is also why I kind of want to live in Portland, Oregon, or right outside of Portland, because it's just so gorgeous. And I like the rain, so the rain doesn't bother me. I actually one of those people that I sit in the window and stare at the rain because it makes me happy. Like, I love it when it rains. It doesn't happen here often enough. So I'm really not sure exactly, like I don't have one definitive place that I know for sure that's where I'd want to be for the rest of my life, but as long as it's somewhere gorgeous where I could actually grow a garden and live a more sustainable life in like just a beautiful climate, you know, with trees and green grass. And I really don't like desert landscaping. I mean, there's beauty everywhere, but it's really not that great. It could be a lot better, a lot prettier here. And the fact that, you know, the stuff that is green here, I'm looking out my window here. The stuff that is green here, like the trees and stuff, it's all man planted. It's all man watered. It doesn't grow here on its own. If there was no city culture, those things would not be growing here. So this is not a beautiful place in general to me, and I'd rather be somewhere more green. So I hope that answers your question. Sorry, it's not very specific, but that's my answer. And then my last question is from Vegan Peace. Hey, and it's another question from Vegan Peace, and it says, how long were you vegetarian before going vegan? So basically, I was vegetarian for a year because I tried to be vegan that whole year. starting in January of 2014. And I was basically like 95% vegan, but you can't call yourself vegan if you're eating animal products. So I was plant-based for a year. And then when January of 2015 came around, I finally made that final, like, I told myself, there has to be a day where it's the last day. You can't go back. There has to be a point where you can't slip back into your old habits. And like probably 2 or 3 months before that, I started kind of training myself. Like, every time you think about having some regular cheese, every time you think about you wanting to slip back into pizza or whatever, you're gonna like visualize animal cruelty videos that you've seen, and you're gonna tell yourself that if you eat that piece of food, you're gonna make yourself watch animal cruelty videos. And that's what made me stay vegan and go vegan, is I did that visualization, and I told myself, you're gonna watch those videos if you eat that. And I didn't want to do that, so that's what made me stay vegan. And I chose my brother's birthday, January of 2015, so that I would remember the day, because I had I'd already gone a couple days without screwing up, and I told myself, oh, I've already been vegan a couple days, so that's it. Let's make those were the last days. Let's make it official and choose a day. And I said, okay, well, it's my brother's birthday, so I'll just choose today, because I won't forget this day. It'll be easy for me to remember my anniversary and to go from here. So technically my vegan anniversary is probably a couple days before January 16th, but that's the day that I chose to make it official. So yes, that's it. Sorry this video got a little long. I hope I answered your questions sufficiently. I tried to the best of my ability. And if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll answer them in a different Q&A sometime. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.